Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. The New York City housing market has certainly been impacted as a result of COVID-19. And joining me to discuss how it is evolving and what technology is most effective in today's market is Jason Haber. He's a broker with Warburg Realty. Jason, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade
Good
Talks.
to see you, Jill. Thanks for having me on.
All right, now tell us how the buying process has changed in the New York City market.
Sure, it's gone virtual in many ways. We're seeing a lot more virtual tours, FaceTime tours. Buyers are doing much more research online. And what happens is when they're ready to go out and look, in the old days, pre-COVID, seems like a long time ago, but pre-COVID, they would go out and they would see 5, 10. I've even had people see 30 apartments. We're not seeing that anymore. Buyers will go out on a much more focused search and see 1 to maybe 3 or 4 apartments or homes before making a decision.
It's really interesting. So how is the industry leaning into technology?
Well, you have to right now. I mean, technology is the future of this industry. So you're seeing a lot more emphasis on video and virtual tours. I would say before it was a luxury item to have that as part of your sort of in your toolbox to use it as a broker. Now it's a necessity. Every listing, no matter how big or small, I've had people ask for virtual tours for $20 million homes and for $550,000 homes. So everything in between, people want to see online before they come take a look.
And Jason, for those of us who have lived in New York City or live in New York City, we know every building has its own culture, own set of rules. You can be on the same street and the building next door can have its own vibe. So
That's for sure.
yeah, I've lived in many Upper East Side apartments. I can attest to that. So what's it like doing a showing and how do you manage with the different COVID-19 policies?
So it's very different in every listing. So in every building, the policies will vary. Like you said, there are some buildings that have, you walk through a thermo scan before you enter. Other buildings are much more laxed about it. Some buildings require 24 or 48 hours notice before entering the building. Other buildings, it can still be same day. So you have to adjust as a broker and let the client know, because people are used to calling you up at 2 o'clock and saying, hey, I want to see this at 4:30. Can you get me in? And today we can't actually do that because of building rules 9 out of 10 times. So it's educating buyers and sort of reorienting them on what this new normal is. And for us, it's a sea change. It's another layer of complexity. Every building does have rules. There are now forms that buyers have to sign and attest that they've been free of symptoms for 14 days. They have to send that in advance. And so it's just a whole new environment right now. And it's a lot more to navigate.
What's it like being a broker now? Is it easier to manage your schedule because you're not having to, meet someone at any random time? Are you able to plan out your day and set expectations better? Has it made it any better or worse for you?
I think it's 10 times harder because there's a lot more sort of administrative related items that go into any showing. And the setting of the schedule becomes much more complicated. There are some buildings that don't want showings on weekends, or they don't want showings on sort of morning or evening rush hour times. So it's a very different environment right now. And there's just a lot that goes into it. Now it's fine. Now I'm actually happy about it because I think that we're being responsible as a brokerage community. Buildings are taking COVID very seriously. And at the flip side, we're finding ways to make business work within this new framework. So everyone's being careful, everyone's wearing masks. And I'm actually happy with these policies that are in place now.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these trends have been accelerated as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, and they were eventually going to happen anyway. So
yeah,
that could be the silver lining of it all. And to wrap up here, would you consider the New York City market to be frozen, or is this a good buying opportunity like it was downtown, for example, after 9/11?
So it was frozen for, say, middle of March until early June. You saw almost no new listings coming on the market. We weren't even supposed to show apartments. We weren't showing apartments. I didn't step foot in any listing between March 10th and June 10th or so.
Oh, wow.
So, but now it's not. Now, since we moved to phase 2 and then 3 and then going to 4, things have changed. And now it's an active marketplace. It's a different marketplace. It feels, you have to get used to it for sure. But no, buyers are out there and deals are getting done now.
All right, Jason, great. We'd love to have you back towards the end of the year and get an update and see just exactly how this transpires over the third and fourth quarter. Thanks so much for joining us on Trade Talks.
Back on the end of the year. I won't be outside though. I'll be back inside.
You'll be the only broker doing content from a terrace in 30-degree weather, Jason.
Exactly.
Thanks so much for joining us on Trade Talks.
Good to see you.
And thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq.